Welcome everyone. I'm Rob Pacinelli. I'm the co-founder of The Best Media. Thank you for attending today. We're going to get started here. Hopefully everyone had the opportunity to join and connect. I want to send a special thank you to Ya, the manager of the Downtown Georgetown BIA, for allowing us to put this together and create this awesome value for you. So thank you, Ya. Thank you to the Georgetown BIA Board of Directors for allowing this as well. To all you BIA members in attendance and anyone that has filled out the survey, thank you. You allowed us to gain valuable insights into your businesses, provided us with much needed information so we can create a customized webinar for you today. And thank you to everyone else in attendance. So a little bit about myself, Rob Pacinelli. Who is this guy? What is he all about? Why should you listen to me? So just a few reasons why you should listen to me. I have 18 years of digital marketing experience. So, through the 18 years, there have been a lot of mistakes made, but not over and over. So it's been a journey of a lot of ups and downs and continuous learning. So through my 18 years, I still find myself coming to work every day wanting to learn more because things are changing so rapidly with the online marketing environments, the platforms, and so on. So 18 years of experience and growing still every day. To date, we've helped, and personally I've helped over thousands of businesses succeed online, all various different types of industries and businesses. And my superpower, if you want to call it that, is I'm an expert in positioning your business in front of the right audience online. So that's my superpower. So a little bit about thebestmedia.com. So who is The Best Media and why should you listen to our team? So I am one of the co-founders. I have one partner, David Marcantonio. We founded in 2002. Can you believe that? 18 years ago. And positioning your business in front of the right audience online is what we do. And we do this through many different marketing activities, and digital marketing solutions. So qualified lead conversion, not just any lead conversion, but qualified. It is different than your typical average lead conversion strategy. Video production and marketing. So, a few years ago, we understood the value of video and how important it is to marketing any business online. So we incorporated that into our business as well. Search engine optimization, Google and Bing advertising, social media content management and advertising, web design development and maintenance. So we are a full service agency, and this is one of the biggest benefits our clients tell us they enjoy about working with The Best Media. They can get everything done under one roof, and we provide cohesive, harmonious strategies for your business to succeed online. So that's hopefully enough of a value add or reason why you should be listening to us and to our team. A little bit more about The Best Media. So yeah, we build custom digital solutions, and this is what we did for you today. So we created a webinar based on your specific needs from the survey and the data that you included in the survey. And a few points I actually wanted to mention. This webinar is being recorded, so you will get a link to the recording of this entire webinar after this webinar. So you got a great takeaway. It'll be like having me in your computer for reference at any time. So you'll get a link after the webinar. For questions during the webinar, feel free to enter them anytime. They will be answered at the end of the webinar during our Q&A. And that is basically it about that part. So to date, I can proudly say that we've completed over 98,000 projects. And that sounds like a huge number, and it was quite an accomplishment, and it varies across so many different industries. And yeah, we've helped Yellow Pages, one of our largest clients, and we've had about 8,000 of their clients under our umbrella for about 6 years, and we've helped them succeed in providing white labeling services. So we want to help you in the same way. And we have the experience across many different industries to provide value, and this is our goal today. So the agenda, I'm going to pass it over to Sean at that time. He's going to go over the findings of the survey. The presentation will begin after that. Sean will hand it back over to me. I'll start getting into the actual meat and potatoes of starting your Facebook and Instagram advertising campaign. And then we're going to go through a demonstration of setting up the retargeting campaign that we talked about, followed by the Q&A. So I hope that's clear. I hope everyone's ready to go. I'm going to hand it over to Sean, and he's going to go over the findings of the survey with you now. Okay, Sean.
Thanks, Rob. My name is Sean Hodgson, and I'm a digital marketing specialist here. I help us in terms of the outbound calling and getting in contact with people. I worked with Yahoo to try and develop a survey so that we could understand the needs of your businesses and develop something for specific content that will help with that. So out of that, we wanted to share some of the key findings and some of the factors that are really important here in developing the context. Right now, of the businesses that returned the survey, 61% are temporarily closed, and another, we'll call it 30%, have sales down somewhere between 10 and or 20% and over 50%. People are hurting. We recognize this, and we want to help you. The way we want to help you is by providing some great information so that you can start reaching people online. We're going to do that, and we're going to continue. So the way I broke this out is some information about the websites, or what your business owners have thought and their impressions are towards them. So the importance of having a great website. This was a question out of 10. People gave it a value of 8.7 out of 10. We all recognize it's important, but what's its purpose? Well, to generate more than 20% of your business through online activities. Not many people here are doing that. Only 23% said they were actually getting some revenue from what they're doing. Now, when that's the question, if you could bring your services online, would your existing customers use those services? There's a lot of doubt about whether or not they will actually work. And by that I mean 39% of people thought that their customers may or may not do business with them online. So that begs the question, how are you finding your clients currently, or how are they finding you more importantly? Well, the traditional word of mouth and referral is obviously the biggest far and away at over 50%. When we look, we see that social media website really accounts for about 30% right now. And that gives us an opportunity to try and find a lot more people and educate them about your business online. So going on from there, social media is obviously important. Do you use social media to engage with your clients? Well, 92% of you do. Do you do any advertising? Obviously, it's dropped down to this point. 53% have said that they have tried some social media advertising at some point. And we're going to talk about that in a second as to how effective it is. But how important is it to you to learn about how they advertise effectively? It was rated as 7.6 out of 10 on average. So it's important to know, and we're going to show you why it should be more of a 10 out of 10. So the findings from the survey, again, we continue on. Has your social media content advertising resulted in any leads or sales? Well, a lot of you have tried some social media advertising, but not a lot of you have gotten a lot of value out of it. What we're seeing here, only 8% of people who've responded actually gathered some leads or sales in a quantity that they were happy with. 60% had some, but not really as much as hoped, and 30% got nothing out of the value they spent. And that is really a tough way of looking at social media. People have been a little bit disappointed with their advertising on this so far, and I'm hoping that what Rob is going to be presenting to you here is going to give you a great example and an idea of how you can do this, and give you a way forward to at least start with some simple campaigns and be able to find some people online. So with that, we're going to be talking, Rob's going to be talking here about why you should advertise on Facebook and Instagram. There's really good points on here. Unless, Rob, you want me to cover it quickly?
Go for it. You're doing a great job. Continue, Sean.
So basically, if we're building a business case of why you should advertise on social media, even if you're not a big fan of it yourself, look, the world is 1.49 billion users worldwide. And in terms of ads, 22 billion ad clicks a year. If you're not online and doing and advertising, someone else is, and they're capturing your business. From a cost efficiency standpoint, Facebook is far less expensive than all other channels online and offline. You have to know what you're doing here because your budget can run away from you pretty quickly, but If you do it right, and we're going to show you how, you will find it's cheaper than any other form of advertising. What's better about it is you have extensive analytics and matrix behind it. You can segment and target your specific ideal client, and you find them really well. Remarketing is another way, and we're going to talk about that further here. But basically, you're taking a target audience that's already visited your website, and then you're marketing to them again. They already know who you are. They already know a bit about you, and now it's time to put your business right in their face. Lookalike audiences basically are another thing where they can basically, you find more qualified leads of people who are similar in their behaviors to your custom audience. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to Rob. Rob?
All right, thank you. Good job, Sean. And I also want to say a thank you to Sean and the Best Media team for reaching out to all you guys, getting you to participate. You know, there's a lot of work, and good job, Sean. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to get started here. So we're going to talk about Facebook and Instagram, a retargeting campaign every small business should be using. Why should every business be using this retargeting campaign? And where is this coming from? So this is coming from many years of experience working with a lot of businesses locally and internationally, and providing them with marketing, providing them with huge value running their social advertising campaigns. So one of the foundations of social media advertising is the retargeting. So this is something some of you have already done, I'm sure. Maybe some of you have not, but this is the foundation. And when done right, it allows you to use these platforms, Facebook and Instagram, to very efficiently maintain continuous contact with your ideal clients and audience online. And I want to show you how you can do this efficiently, effectively, and create a foundation for your social media advertising. So this is going to involve paid ad dollars for Facebook and Instagram, but in a most efficient way possible, where you can spend literally $10 a day advertising your business and start to gain traction. So this is my intention here. I want to give you the lowest hanging fruit so that you can take it away. You can implement immediately after this webinar, and then you'll have the reference and also a free gift at the end that's going to help you and keep you accountable. So if you guys are ready, let's begin. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes of this. So how to establish a new relationship with your customers using social media. First, we have to create content that is going to reflect your business. It's going to be all about what you do, why you do it, and how you do it differently. So first, I want to talk about some tips to help you to do this. So content should not be something that is a burden to you. A lot of clients I've worked with, they find it challenging to write content. So what I've done here is create an easy to use guide to really understand all the different ways you can create content. But if I could summarize it for you, very short and sweet, basically just document what you are already doing. Everyone's got a smartphone, so there's no excuse for any of you to not record what you're doing every day already. For example, you could even be recording, hey, I'm attending this webinar to see this funny guy talk about Facebook and Instagram marketing. That could be part of your content that you're creating. So literally just document what you do every day. And don't just document the positive aspects of what you do, because that's just shining a light on one part of your business. Shine a light on the whole part of it, the struggles, the vulnerabilities, the challenges, the good and the bad. So this is allowing you to really engage with your audience online. And we're going to get into some details of how we can do this more efficiently as well. So going on to the next slide here, education-focused content. So we're going to talk about two different types of content: education-focused content, emotional-based and focused content. Because the two together is what's needed, and a blend of the two is how you should be creating your content. You can't be just all education because that tends to be sometimes boring and not so entertaining, whereas the emotional part creates that entertainment and connection with your audience. So you want to find a happy medium of both, education and emotion together. So here we're talking about education-based content. And what does this look like? Okay. So, just getting my notes. Yeah, so basically the three major teaching insights here, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you will share your knowledge and insights and your business and products and services. So, yeah, what you know about your business, others do not. So you are an expert in your business and only you are. So you need to really think about what is it that you do that would be valuable content for your audience. You know, for myself, a lot of our struggles, learning how to get better at certain aspects. You know, understanding that marketing is a long-term game. You know, that's a huge insight for myself and for my audience. A lot of the times we think that we can just put something together, spend 10 minutes, create an advertising campaign, and that this is going to bring us tens of thousands of, you know, dollars in terms of sales and revenue and new clients. So it's unrealistic to think that. Marketing is a long-term game. Coca-Cola, for example, they still spend billions of dollars every year advertising. So you have to ask yourself why. They have a huge brand. They have so many sales, but they need to continually market so that they can continue to be that #1 brand and grow. So I hope that gives you a little bit of information. The 4 stories. The 4 stories part is basically where you tell stories, what your company is about, why you started it, who you serve, the purpose behind it, things like that. You want to connect with your customers on an emotional level. Today, it's becoming more important that buyers know why you are doing what you do and why you are in business. Just tell your story. Really is what it's all about. So yeah, tell your story and be honest, be open, be vulnerable too. You'll find that some of the most powerful social media posts come from a perspective of vulnerability. So don't be scared to be honest and true with your audience. This is how they will connect and engage with you. So share the good and the bad. Epiphany moments, so surprises or aha moments. You know, maybe you got a surprise gift from somebody, or maybe, you know, through your process of, you know, if you're a restaurant owner and you're cooking steaks, for example, maybe now you've come to a certain realization or an aha moment where you're able to cook your steaks in a certain way that creates a certain type of value that no one else can provide. Maybe you have a supplier that, you know, you're very specific with, and you only buy your steaks from a certain supplier because of this or because of that. So share that. That's your story. Everyone, you may think it's boring and people don't want to hear it, but they do want to hear it. So share your story, and you are interesting, trust me. FAQs, very simple. So facts around your business. You know, you probably have an FAQ section on your website, depending what your business is about. So create content all around that. Show examples. Okay, so just moving on. Questions you should ask. Facing objections. You know, you already know what objections your customers have, so create content around that. Speak to that proactively. Power messaging. Basically, one of our power messages, success loves preparation. You know, that's a great power message, and it makes a lot of sense. An objection, maybe it's too expensive, so speak to that proactively. So all of these items here, you know, if you actually go through each of these, and again, what we're doing is we're taking something that I've learned from the experts that takes, you know, weeks and months to perfect, and I'm trying to consolidate and give you the best tips on how you can do this efficiently. So please understand, if this is followed, you should be able to create 20 to 40 pieces of content easily. I would suggest all you need to do to start is create 5 or 10 pieces of content and go to market. So yeah, we have some questions come up. Let's see here. What do you recommend? Connie's asking, what do you recommend as a rule of thumb for how often we should be posting? Is there such a thing as too much or too little? Absolutely not. Post as much as you can. There is no such thing as too much, and there is too little, though, I can tell you that. So definitely post as much as possible. And if I can give you a number, I would say at least a few times a day. I wouldn't post just crap, though. We need to post value. Make sure you're trying to post something that falls within these categories and add that emotion to it as well. So I hope that makes sense, Connie. Post as much as you can. Look at Gary Vee. If you've ever followed Gary Vee, this guy's posting, I think, 100+ pieces of content daily. 100+ pieces of content daily. So yeah, definitely post a lot of content. And there's many ways to post. You can post regular in your newsfeed, then you can create a story, you can go live, and then you should be using all of those in combination. So if you make a post, make a story about your post, say, hey, check out my latest post. You know, this is a great way to connect the two and use both and get additional visibility. So I hope that answers your question, Connie. Good question. So I'm going to move on right now. Looks like we got some more joiners here. Good stuff. Okay, so we got Sean here. He's switching the slides on me without me knowing. So
I was trying to get to the QA stuff.
that's okay. It's okay, Sean. Emotion-focused content. So the same kind of thing here. We're trying to give you real suggestions and guidelines and tips on how to create emotion-based content now. State your goals. What goals do you have for your business? Why are they different? Why do you have your goals? You know, a lot of people say, I want to make $1 million. Why? Oh, because I want to spend more time with my family. Why? You know, just keep on drilling down to your why you are doing what you do, and state that. Let everyone know. You know, you have 2 kids, maybe you want to spend more time with your family or whatever it is. Let everyone know. Tell your story. Pains. Again, this is where the negative comes in. You might think, oh, everyone on social media is only posting the good stuff about their lives, and it's true, but it's not real. It's not real. Everyone knows we go through ups and downs. So post your pains, no problem. People will actually connect and engage with you more. You will see more real, credible. So don't be shy and don't be scared about posting your pains. Implications, benefits. What benefits do people have working with your product or your service that you offer? What emotional phases are you going through? Especially now, so many people have a lot of up and down roller coaster ride of emotions, you know? And I know myself as a business owner, same thing with, you know, the recent events. You know, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, but it's okay to express that. People want to hear that. You're just being real. And then whatever enemies you may have to your business, you know, this could take so many different forms. So right now, the main enemy is COVID. So that's a huge enemy all of us can relate to, right? So yes, using emotion-focused content, combining it with education-based content and keeping it 50-50 would be the right mix, in my opinion. So how can you create the greatest impact for your customer from this content and experience? This is the question you need to ask yourself when creating content. How can you create the greatest impact for your customer from your content/experience? And this is how it should look like: 50-50 education, emotion. So here are some of the marketing myths, and especially when it comes to social media. And Connie, number 2 is basically something we've already talked about. So I was gonna speak to that already, but you beat me to it. So number 1, perfect content. There is no such thing. So one of the challenges, especially startups or people new to social media have, is, oh, I don't have the right image, or I don't have the, just get your content out there. There is no perfect content, so get it out there. And obviously put effort into it, create value with your content. So I'm not saying to just put crap, put value into it, but don't overthink it. Tony Robbins, and this is something I learned from my business partner, Dave, complexity is the enemy of execution. And that's a quote from Tony Robbins, and it's darn true. Complexity is the enemy of execution. So if you're there and a day goes by and you haven't posted on social media, that's a loss, in my opinion. That's a fail. So you should have figured out within that day something to post. So if you're letting a day go by, no, post it, post it, post it, and then do better tomorrow. If you're not happy with that one today, it's okay. Tomorrow's another day, post again. And then you're going to just get better and better at it. So you need to start going to market and don't let it get too complicated. There is no perfect content, so get involved and get active. Too much content. Can you post too much content? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And let's see what, I have some notes here on this. Yeah, you cannot post too much content. The amount of people on social media right now is growing literally every second. So for you to post too much content, you'd probably have to be posting hundreds of pieces a day. So you are by no way getting close to that, I'm confident. So post as much as you can. People are paying attention. So you think that people are paying attention to you and your posts on social media. Well, if I can be honest with you, they are not. There's so much content being posted, so much going on in other people's lives. They're not paying attention. So this is why you need to fight to get their attention. And this is where creating multiple posts daily comes into effect. And then people remember. You're going to think that people remember your business or your brand because you posted once 2 months ago. Absolutely not. People have the shortest attention spans ever right now due to their online activities. When it comes to a website load speed time, we literally have an attention span, and this is a statistic proven, of 3 to 5 seconds. If your web page is not loading within 3 to 5 seconds, that user's probably gone to your competitors and he's probably already buying or filling out a form. So attention span is so short online, so people remembering your stuff is a myth. They do not remember, they will not remember unless you are fighting for their attention. And this is what I'm trying to clarify for everyone here. So I hope this makes a lot of sense. Randy, what do we got, Randy? I feel that you can post too much. If I was seeing that much 100 per day, I wouldn't follow the person. Good point, Randy. Gary Vee is an example. He posts valuable content always, and this is across multiple social media channels. So I agree with you. If I was getting 100 posts on Facebook from someone and it was not valuable, I'd probably unfollow him too. But alternatively, if he was posting 100 times a day and it was actually valuable, you probably wouldn't unfollow him. So totally agree. There could be a time when you're posting too much, but I think that's a rare occurrence versus the majority of business owners I speak with and marketing teams, they're posting drastically not enough. But that's a great question, Randy. Connie has another question. So many small business owners believe they should discount their service or product to create interest in their content online, 50% off sale. But is that the most effective way of creating a buzz? I don't like the idea of discounting my brand because that's what people remember about you. Should we be focusing on the value of our brand instead? Absolutely, Connie. I often term that as you're training your audience to expect discounts. So depending on your brand, depending on your business, I agree with you absolutely. You should not be discounting. And there is a time and place to discount, but as the normal, as the standard, they should not be something as the only way to create a buzz online. That would be, maybe used 5% of the time, a discount or promotion used very strategically. And probably for like a low cost item to get someone to actually experience your business and your services or products. But other than that, I agree, create a buzz in a different way. So maybe you can create a survey, maybe you create a poll, maybe you could create a contest. Maybe, there's so many ways to create a buzz versus giving a discount. So totally agree with you. You should not have to provide discounts to create a buzz. Instead, create value. So, you know, if you're a clothing company, instead of discounting, create value. Say, hey, you know, these are create content based on how to accessorize properly. I know for men find it very challenging to dress properly. So maybe a guide that says, hey, this is how you should match, you know, your clothes or something like this would be ideal. So just speak to that audience and your audience with value. So I hope that makes sense, Connie. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. We'll go on to the next one.
I'm going to hit questions.
So, and I mentioned this before, we need to be in an all-out fight to get the attention of your audience. Remember that. They're not paying attention to you, so do what you need to do to get their attention. And this is what this whole webinar is designed to do. Provide you with value so you can actually go away and start doing this yourself. And let's go to the next one. So this is what the campaign structure we're going to talk about today looks like. So we want you to go through these 6 steps, and I've created screenshots, so we're going to take you step by step now through them. This is the foundation of the remarketing, retargeting campaign that every business should be using. It's going to allow you to stay in constant communication with potential prospects and business and clients that are already engaged and knowing of your business. So we're going to get into the exact details on that, but basically every business should be doing this. So let's walk you through what exactly you need to do step by step for yourself. And we have a few assumptions here. So A, you have an existing Facebook business page and ad account. And if you don't, it's okay, because on the next slide, I'm going to show you resource links on how you can get that set up yourself. So having a Facebook business page and ad account is basic, so something you need to do if you don't have it already. You have uploaded your content and you've created your ads. So we briefly talked about creating content. So going forward, to provide you with the most value, the assumption is here that you've created content and you've uploaded and created your ads. Your ads can either use images or video. You have set up your Facebook pixel and you have set up a retargeting audience. And again, if you do not have any of these elements in place, the next slide has links for each and every one of these to be done. So there's no excuse here. You can get this all set up today if you put some work into it. And you know, quickly, what is a Facebook pixel? A pixel is basically when you create an ad account, you'll have a pixel from that ad account that gets put onto your web page. It's basically just a piece of code, can be done very easily. And this tells Facebook and its algorithm and its AI all about the engagement your website is getting, who your audience is, who's visiting your page, and so on. So this tells Facebook so much information, and it's basically the foundation to use their algorithm and their AI to get you more business, more sales, and and a certain type of audience. So very important there. And again, we got the links on the next page on how you can do this yourself. So Maureen, do you feel video, text, or photo gets noticed more? Absolutely, great question, Maureen. Video by far is the most engaging. By default, some quick tips I'd just like to give you on the video aspect. So as you're scrolling, and I'm sure you've seen, unless you have your volume already turned on from Facebook, it's going to be a muted auto video play. So having subtitles in your video, very important. So I would recommend putting subtitles in there. You'll see much better conversion. But to answer your question directly, video is the best for sure. And then images versus copy. I'd like to quickly speak on that, Maureen, because it relates to that question. What is more important, the copy or the image, if you had to use an image? Image is what's going to disrupt the attention of the user as they're scrolling through their feed. So the image is the most important part or element of your Facebook post or ads to disrupt the user's attention. So split testing images and using awesome disrupting images are so important. yeah, so moving on here. Let's see. So this is the slide here to get you the resources you need to have all of those items set up. So if you're not sure even where to begin, the first video is where to start. It's actually a video that I created, 10 steps to how to set up your Facebook advertising. So it quickly takes you through all the 10 steps. How to set up your business manager, your ad account, your pixel, and set up your retargeting audience. Should be straightforward. If anyone has any challenges with any of these, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you. Roberto@thebestmedia.com, and I'll reply back with any other resources you need, or just give you that advice over email or over the phone. So you have everything at your fingertips here, no excuse. And you know, I hope you put this into practice right away. So let's jump into the meat and potatoes here. So how to set up your Facebook retargeting campaign. The step number one is setting up the campaign. The campaigns start by selecting your objective. So this is an actual screenshot. When you create a campaign, this is what you're presented with now. And you'll notice that Facebook often updates their interfaces. So this is something that was recently updated. If you're looking at videos from maybe 6 months back and so on, this may look different. So this is why it may look different to you if you haven't been in the platform recently. So on the left side, we have awareness column, consideration in the middle, and conversion on the right. We're going to choose for this campaign a reach objective. This is under the awareness column, and the reach objective allows you to tell Facebook to send your content to reach as many people as possible. So that's the reach objective. And going forward there, at the bottom of the reach objective, you're basically having the details of the campaign, your campaign name, ad set name, and the ad name. So here are just examples of how I would name that, but there's so many different ways to, you know, do the naming, but just make sure it's logical, because it often gets confusing if your ads, your ad sets, and your campaigns are not named correctly. So this is an example of that. Next, we're going into the $10 a day budget to start. So we put this together, and it doesn't even need to be $10 a day. You can literally start even with $5 a day, ladies and gentlemen. It's better than nothing. And you know, you're not gonna, don't expect to make $1 million in revenue from spending $5 a day, but you will get some traction, and it will build over time. So it's kind of like planting a seed, and every day that seed is gonna get closer to growing, and eventually it will grow for you. So, and I have lots of actual business owners running at these levels, and they are getting traction. So depending on your business, this may be all that you need. So this is what it looks like for the campaign details. At the top here, you've already seen that you selected the reach objective. So you have an A/B test section. So I highly recommend split testing. And if you're not sure what that is, skip that for now and then go back and learn about that later. But basically, this is where you're testing differences with your ads and campaigns and so on. If you're not sure, let's just execute right now, because that's your top priority. Campaign budget optimization, turn that on, because this is part of how this campaign is structured. So we need the campaign budget optimization turned on, and enter in a daily budget of $10. And going forward now, this is the ad set. So the ad set has certain parameters that we need to focus on. So we name the ad set, make sure it's using your specific page, because if you're managing many different pages, you could potentially put this on another page. So as you can see here, it's got the best media page. And then we want to set do not schedule end date. So you do not want this to end. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the spending limits. So right now you're going to see the show more options drop down at the bottom. So when we click on that, it's going to give us a little bit more information here. So this is where we want to include at least a $1 minimum spend per day for that ad set. So what is this doing? This is telling Facebook to spend at least $1 on this ad set, no matter what. Previous, we set campaign budget optimization for on, and basically this is telling Facebook to allow them and okay them to shift budgets where they feel it will convert for you best. In doing so, if an ad is not performing well, Facebook may decide not to show that content or that ad at all. So instead, we want to put $1 minimum per day to make sure that ad is shown. So I hope that's clear. And this is a way that if this is not done, basically you have the potential for all of your budget to be pushed to one ad, and you don't want that. The idea here is to get multiple pieces of content in front of your audience consistently. So that's where we put the minimum $1 ad spend. And this is if your ad budget for the whole day is $10. And keep it in perspective. If you're spending $20 a day, maybe you want a $2 minimum. If you're spending $50 a day, maybe you want a $5 minimum. So just keep them in perspective and proportion. So what is an ad set, Sean? Great question. I'm going to guess you've never set up an advertising campaign on Facebook yet. So an ad set is basically the middle stage of setting up a campaign. So you have a campaign, then an ad set, and then the actual ad. So the campaign is what we set up. It determines the objective. The ad set basically tells Facebook who is going to see your ads and give the parameters in terms of budget and scheduling. And then you'll also see there's also room for demographics and audiences and interest and behavior targeting as well. So the ad set is who's going to see your ad, and then the ad is actually the ad content that you're going to create. And again, Facebook resources would probably be the best place to go to if you just want to even Google, type in what is an ad set and use the Facebook support links. You'll see exactly in full detail what that looks like. So I think we've covered everything on this screen here. So moving on. The audience. So this is where we're telling the ad set, and this is still the ad set screen, who is actually going to see your content. So we have a lot going on here. So we have create a new audience, user saved audience. And if we go back to my assumptions, you've already created a retargeting audience. So this is where under saved audiences, you would have your existing retargeting audience. What does that mean? So a retargeting audience is anybody that has visited your web page, your website, or engaged with a Facebook post within a certain number of days. So if you're not sure, again, the links are a few slides previous, basically how to create each of the audiences or the ads or anything like that is the resource links are up there. So when you're creating your audience, you want to create a retargeting audience so that anybody that has visited your website, all pages of your website, engaged with any of your Facebook content, and then if you have videos, on your posts, you would want to even specify anybody that has watched at least 25% of your video. All of these triggers would put a user into your retargeting pool. And how does Facebook know who's in your retargeting pool? That's where the pixel comes in. The pixel will tell Facebook all of this. It will tell users, or we'll tell Facebook which users watched more than 25% of your videos, which users clicked on your ads or your content, which users visited your website, and all of this is creating and building your retargeting pool. So why is this so important, and why is this campaign something every business should be running? It's simple, because these users have already shown an interest in your business. So there's no better or lower hanging fruit than someone that has already engaged with your business and already knows who you are. So now what you're doing is creating content and consistently sending it and putting it in front of them for $10 a day. And there's no better way than to get someone that doesn't use your product or services yet to actually become a customer. So we want to become connected with this potential user, with this audience. And this is why we went through all of the previous. Oh, we got a technical blip here. What's going on, Sean? Okay. I think he's trying to see if he's trying to throw me off my game here. I don't know. You're not going to get me, Sean. You're not going to get me. So yeah, basically, we're just the one after this, I believe. No, previous to this, yes. So yeah, this is where all of that would be entered. So again, under the assumption you have your retargeting audience already created, just click the drop down, use saved audience, and then you have your retargeting audience. Then you can specify geographically who's going to see it, age-wise, gender-wise, your demos, and then interests and behaviors. So we have more options here as well. Once we talk about the placements, I would recommend for starters to use automatic placements. Facebook will optimize the budgets per placement, so the ones that perform the best, it will shift budgets to that. If you have a preference in terms of placements, just click on the manual placements and specify which ones you want. There's pretty much 20 to 30 different placements when it comes to Facebook and Instagram combined. So it can get lengthy, and I would suggest if you're not sure where to start here, use automatic and let the data speak to you. See which placements perform best for you and continue to use the ones that perform best. And now we gotta work on the optimization and delivery. So this is where we make sure your content is only shown to people at a certain number of times or a certain frequency. So when you click on the options under the optimization and delivery, it opens up a new menu. So here you can see frequency cap. Frequency cap is basically how many times your content will be shown to a user over a certain number of time. My magic number for this would be 7 times per 30 days. So this is not how many times they engage. This is only how many times there will be one user will be shown that one piece of content. So 7 times out of 30 days is a sweet spot that I like to use. I would use between 5 and 10, but if you're not sure, use 7 per 30 days, and this is how you set it up there. So I hope that's clear. And then in addition, under the budget and scheduling, and again, this is all under the ad set again. So these are different sections of the ad set that we're looking at. Because it's very long, I had to break them out into different screenshots. So we want to ensure that there's a $1 minimum spend there as well. So this tells Facebook, make sure this content is still shown at least a little bit. This makes sure that not just one piece of your content is shown over and over, but a wide variety of your content. Lastly, we have steps 5 and 6. So you want to retarget everyone constantly with this structure. This is designed so that you're going to create a first-person relationship with your audience. So someone that has never actually purchased your service or your product yet or experienced your business will get a taste of who you are, what your business is all about from many different pieces of content that you create. And this is how you create that first-person relationship. After being, engaged with a lot of your ads, they're going to feel like they already know who you are. They're going to know about your business. They're going to see the good and the bad and the ups and the downs that you have. So this is how this campaign is designed. It's designed to create relationships with your audience and not with someone that doesn't know you. Again, this is designed to create and build relationships with someone already engaged with your business online. So number 6, this is where it gets really interesting because, again, this campaign is designed that once you have your ads created and this is set up, now you don't need to worry about this for 30 days. Every 30 days, you're going to review the top performers, which pieces of content perform the best for you. Out of those, you're going to take the top performers out and give them their own budget. It's not going to be a shared budget. And the reason I say this is because it's already proven. The data is going to speak to you. If this piece of content is driving the most traffic for the least amount and is actually converting it to sales or leads for you, you take that piece of content, you give it its own budget, and you probably, I would suggest amplifying the budget 20% every day so that it doesn't screw up the algorithm or the the pixel algorithm. If you scale budget up too quickly, it may cause challenges or hiccups in the algorithm, meaning if you're spending $10 and getting 5 leads, for example, you would expect to say, hey, if I spend 20, I should get 10 leads. But because you're increasing your budget by 100%, it may throw off the calculations and you may not get the same results. So the best way to scale up in budget, 20% a day max. And if you see things kind of go out of whack, then you might be you might need to hit the whiteboard again or consider updating your content a bit. But yeah, every 30 days, pick your winners, and alternatively, you're gonna look at the losers too. So there's probably gonna be pieces of content that are not performing well. You take those out and replace it with new ones now. And you use the tips from the beginning to understand the types of content you should be creating. Plus now you have data that's speaking to you from your audience that's saying, this is the content we really like. So I hope that was helpful. Yeah, this is the retargeting campaign. This is actually a simple campaign, but I find it's important, it's often overlooked. It's so important for every business to have this. So you'll see all the best brands and businesses use this every day. It's an efficient way to stay in close contact with an audience that already knows your business. And it's a great incentive for you to continue to create new content. Things are changing. Our world is changing. We are going into the digital information age, and we're moving away from the industrial age. So this is going to give you the right tools to continue to get these relationships nurtured online. It's going to give you the right incentives to create new content constantly, continuously, and it should be something you incorporate in your business from now until forever. So creating content is a big challenge, I find, for many business owners and marketing teams, but it's going to be an absolute must-have going forward. So I hope I made that importance very clear. Marketing is a long-term game. So, prepare, create content that is going to be valuable for your audience. And this is how you're going to get that content out consistently in front of that audience in an efficient way. All right, Sean. We are ready for question period. So I hope there are some questions, and
do a pretty good job answering as we go. So right now we don't have any questions at the moment.
In the meantime, as some questions may come in, I want to make a challenge out to every one of you. I want to keep everyone accountable here too. So my free offer to each and every one of you is as follows. Number one, I hope you found this valuable. I hope you can implement this right away and immediately. And I hope it provides your business with a boost in a time where it could truly help. In addition to that, in speaking to accountability, I want everyone to participate in implementing this campaign over the next 2 weeks. So right now, you have no excuse not to implement. I provided the resource links to get your business manager created, your ad account created, your business page created, all of the infrastructure needed. We have the step-by-step walkthrough on what you need to do. You understand how to create your content. So I want each and every one of you to create this campaign, and I will personally, at no cost, review each and every one of your campaigns one by one in 2 weeks' time or earlier. Sean is going to reach out to each and every one of you. We're going to book follow-up one-on-one consultations. And this is what I'm going to offer to you. I want you to put your best foot forward, put all of this together as best as you can, and I will personally evaluate and walk you through and optimize your campaign in about 2 weeks' time from now. So, if there's anything else I can do to help you get to market now with this campaign, please let me know. But my email again, roberto@thebestmedia.com. It's the best way to get a hold of me. And yeah, I want to keep you accountable. So this is why I'm offering this to you. And this will work. this is working for many clients and all of the biggest and best brands out there. So something you should be implementing for your business today. So I hope my words and my, our strategies resonate with you here. And I hope you find value for this and being able to implement this quickly. This, again, came from many years of experience, a little bit from the data that you provided to say, hey, the biggest gap, for all the BIA members is basically the social media aspect. We can literally sit here and talk about many other aspects. And even this, there's a lot that goes into this, but I really tried to keep it simple and straightforward. So I really, truly hope you found value from here. And I'd love to hear any feedback, good or even bad. Let me know what could have been done better, if anything. Let us know if you liked anything and found value. In addition, if there's anything else that you need from us, let us know. I'll be happy to, get in touch with you over email, over the phone if needed. And I really want to hear any success stories or any feedback on implementing this campaign for your business. There's nothing that makes me happier than understanding when one of our clients is able to succeed. And it is our passion. We want your business to grow, especially during these times. It can be challenging to even be motivated to, put effort into your business when, we're under these conditions and so on. But things will get better. Things will recover. And you might as well get started right now and start creating content. Like right after this webinar, start creating content. And if you have problems, reach out to me personally. I'd love to help you again in the midterm. But I want to keep you accountable. We're going to talk in 2 weeks' time, and I'd love to see all of you implement this as soon as possible.
Yes, Allison, sorry about that. There was something that went on with the setting there. We were trying to create a poll on the fly to see, are you guys ready to start with implementing a campaign, and what's your likelihood of doing so? We're just curious to see, are you going to take advantage of the knowledge that's been provided so far?
I told you, Allison, I think Sean is trying to get me going here. He's trying to throw me off my game, but I was prepared, so. Are there any other questions that came up? Okay. Thanks, Allison. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, so this really brings us to the end here. If there's any other last minute questions, please submit them. But I want to see you implement, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Please let me know or let our team know how we did today. If there's anything we could have done better, let us know too. So please share and get to work creating the content and this campaign.
Well, we got a break for 1 hour before your next consultation. See if anybody wants to.
Yeah, good point, Dave. As always, I got my business partner here sending great suggestions. So as David mentioned, until 4 o'clock, I am still available. I have my next consultation at 4 o'clock. It is now 3:06 p.m., so there's 54 minutes left. If anyone needs to reach out to me, my personal mobile number, 437-288-8595. Call me. I'd love to help you walk through any of this, answer any questions, email any other time. And first come, first serve, I guess. So get busy creating that content, or let me know if there's anything else, any other help that you need from us. Thank you for your time, everyone. Look forward to talking to you in 2 weeks' time once you have this implemented.
Thank you to Yao and the Georgetown BIA Board of Directors.
Yes.
I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. And we may be doing a webinar series going forward starting in late May. Is that correct, Yao?
Yes, we will be starting a webinar series, so absolutely stay tuned for that as well. And
probably a little more technical practice on Sean's end, though.
yeah. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye now.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you, Georgetown BIA.